Hi, it's Chris Watkin here with John Cottrell, action coach, star all-round coach and top bloke. Hi, John.
Chris.
John, business owners, why is there never enough time in the day to get the jobs done?
Oh, that's a great question. I guess the number one for the majority is they think they're the best at what they do.
Yes.
So they really don't want to let go of the controls and let someone else have a go because they worry, well, it'll be more expensive, they might make a mistake which will cost me money, the customer won't like it, it won't be done on time. Any reason they can think of so they can keep control.
Why do you think they do that, John?
There's a bit of fear of failure. There's also a bit of personal pride, as they've always done what they've always done. They don't like to let go of it.
Well, it's their business, isn't it? And at the end of the day, no one's going to do it as good as them, are they?
That's what they feel. And that's probably the biggest mental shift to have to take from being, if you like, having a self-employed mentality, which is, I do everything myself. Because if you think about it, if you do everything yourself, you're effectively self-employed.
Yes.
Then the next identity shift is then to become a manager within your own business. So now I've got to manage other people doing what I used to do. And finally, when your business works for you, you're then an owner. But you don't work in your own business.
This is classic on versus in the business that a lot of people read about, but they never actually know what the hell it's. Expand a bit more.
Right, so if I think of myself as a business owner, right, I might have no employees in the business but myself. I might have a lot of employees, still a full-time job, or I may have no job at all. So if we actually create a distinction, so well, to be classified as a business owner, I can't actually have a job in the business that I own.
That's interesting.
Right? If I own a job, just over broke, I'm at best a manager, and worst I'm self-employed. And if I approach it with that mindset and that identity, so first of all, if I'm doing the work, I'm the chief rocket scientist in the business, then effectively I'm self-employed.
So self-employed is the bottom level.
Yeah.
And then we've got two more levels above that.
Yeah, so manager is the second one. So now I'm managing others,
yes,
but I'm still in my business.
So a bit of 50-50 of on versus in.
Yeah, it could be.
And then the full on the business is...
I'm the owner, and I don't work in my business. My business, it's a bit like being in a bigger company, the COO and the CEO.
Okay.
So the COO is your chief operating officer.
Yeah.
That guy or girl is responsible for day-to-day operations of that business. So their focus, sales, making stuff, serving customers, all the day-to-day stuff that must happen. The CEO, the chief executive officer, his or her focus is on the future, which is why it's marketing, finance, strategy. What's going to happen tomorrow? What are we doing to our business to prepare it to be successful in the future?
Now, I know in some future videos we're going to talk about how people can find enough time to do these sort of things, but have you got any quick little wins that the guys out there that they could do now to help them work on the business as opposed to in the business?
There is
such thing?
Yes, there is. There is one very quick thing, but 90% of people won't do it because it sounds boring.
Why is that? Well, tell me what it is first.
Okay, so they've got to literally complete a timesheet. A simple timesheet.
A timesheet?
Yeah, literally that simple. I.e., every 30 minutes, what did you do in the last 30 minutes? Like one or two keywords, not war and peace, one or two keywords. Was I on emails? Was I on the phone? Was I handling a customer? Was I working with an employee? What was I doing in that time?
And why are they doing that timesheet?
To open their eyes as to where they're losing time. Lots of people are busy, and what we find is when people are brutally honest about where that time goes, a lot is wasted.
Well, we all waste time on mobile phones and Facebook and WhatsApp and all that.
And and the crazy thing is, we might beat ourselves up as the owners of small businesses.
Yes.
But if you look at the CEOs of the Fortune 500, the big corporates, they're just as bad. The last study I saw said that their average time between interruptions was 11 minutes. Well, they're never going to concentrate and get anything done. And they said the detriment to their IQ was like they might as well be stoned. Crazy.
You told me a few months ago about when people get interrupted, how it screws their brain up. Can you just share that with the guys?
Yeah, so The idea is that the average person, if we're to concentrate on something, let's say you want to concentrate on your business, I want to concentrate on my business.
I want to close my door, I want to get my focus in and get that nailed.
Yeah, then it's going to take you typically 24 minutes as a human being for your brain to get into what's called the alpha state, where you're in your flow, you're working at your best. Right? Now, if that takes 24 minutes and you're interrupted every 11, guess what?
You'll never get in the zone, will you?
You never get in the zone.
I mean, a big tip you've given me is take notifications off your phone.
Yeah.
And only check your emails at certain times of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other little quick wins?
So notifications, emails, have a red flag time in your diary. I mean, clients we've done this for, big businesses, small businesses. Big businesses are the funny ones. And this guy decided that Friday mornings would be his red flag time, which meant no internal walk-ins or anything else going on. And after a couple of weeks, his subordinates are like, well, if we're not allowed to interrupt him, he can't interrupt us. So they all made Friday morning red flag morning.
Yes.
So, of course, the management meeting on Monday, the execution went sky high because they all actually made the time to work on their businesses.
And that made a big difference on the business, did it?
Of course.
Good stuff. Well, in future videos, we're going to be looking at this in a lot more detail, helping you as a business owner. And John, what are we going to talk about next week?
Oh, I think we might just talk about, it says looking at the prompt sheet.
What are we going to talk about next week, John?
Well, let's deal with the money next week.
Excellent, good stuff. I'll see you next week, everyone. See you on. Say goodbye to the people at home, John. Cheers, mate. Thanks.